So Chevy, I want to thank you for taking time out to do the Art of Fearlessly Giving Back interview. I want you to tell everybody who you are and what you do here at Arizona Science Center.
Well, I'm Chevy Humphrey, and I'm the president and CEO of Arizona Science Center, and it is the best job ever.
Oh, awesome. That's like a huge thing to say, the best job ever. How long have you been here?
I've been here 19 years, and I've had over 6 positions. So I've worked my way up to the president and CEO job, and I've learned a lot along the way. I failed a lot along the way, but it's actually made me a better executive, and I learn from my team every day.
19 years.
Yeah.
Wow. Good for you. Good for Arizona Science Center to have such a long-term employee. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Do you know Meryl Epstein?
No.
Meryl Epstein was is one of the people that's on my core team at the Fearless Artworks, and she used to work here as a graphic designer.
Meryl, yes,
Yeah.
I do know Meryl. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Merle. I always say her name the wrong way.
Yeah, sorry, I'm
Yeah,
from Texas.
yeah.
We say it all different.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. She says hello.
Oh, say hello. Yes, I do know Merle. Oh my gosh, I just called her a different name. Sorry.
She was really excited that I was doing this interview, so she says hello to everybody here.
She's awesome.
She's
oh my
awesome.
Gosh.
Yeah, she's super
doing
cool.
well.
She's really doing really well.
Good.
Yeah. So tell us why the Arizona Science Center's Girls in STEAM, so science, technology, engineering, art, my fave, and math. Why was it created?
You know, it was created because we saw a real need. Girls represented in STEM careers, 26%, when we own 47% of the workforce. There's something wrong with those numbers.
Right.
And what are we doing as a community, as a nation, to get girls excited about science? We need to provide the tools, the resources, and the cool factor, and the importance of actually how much money you can make in STEM jobs. If you're a girl and you're making $20,000 in a normal job, if you were in a STEM career, you could probably be making about $60,000 a year.
Right.
That's a big gap. And so we need to own this, and we need to make sure that we empower young women and get them excited about science.
There's a geek factor to science, right?
Oh, it's total geek factor.
Like,
it is so
that's
fun.
not fashionable.
I'm a scientist. I'm cool.
Yeah. I think science is cool.
I think science is really cool.
I also think that the idea of engineering and art and technology is, people don't think of science and art as the same thing, but really it is.
It truly is. I mean, if you're drawing a two-dimensional square, that's art, that's engineering. It's all it pulled together.
Yeah. I mean, if you're sitting in a mall somewhere and you look around you, I've said this to many people, everything you see around you is art. And it's engineering, and it's science, and it's technology. And it's math.
Exactly. We're sitting in Crate right now, and guess what? We have 3D printers everywhere. We have laser cutters. That's art, but it's also science.
Exactly. So it's pretty cool. So tell us briefly about the entire program, the Arizona Center Girls in STEM's core values.
Well, the core values of Arizona Science Center is lifelong learning. Education is power, and that is really important. And if we provide young people with tools to learn more and to get excited about and have a passion for what they're learning, they're going to geek out and get excited about it, and they're going to want to actually take that roadmap and create a trajectory to actually become scientists.
See, I love the idea that education's lifelong, that you don't just graduate from school and stop learning stuff. That there's stuff happening all the time to get excited about.
I'm still learning. Oh my gosh, it is a quest for knowledge, and you never stop learning. And when you do stop learning, well, you might as well just like go away.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Life gets really boring when you stop learning and making
so boring.
things, right?
Exactly.
So the WebPT value that we're focusing on in this two-part series is health and wellness, live better. And how do you see what your organization does resonating with that particular value?
You know, at Arizona Science Center, we have a whole gallery that's focused on all about me. It's all about you, but it's called All About Me.
Right.
And it's about how do we protect ourselves? How do we take care of ourselves? What do we eat? What are the good things to eat? How do you have a balanced meal? How do you work out? We even have a giant stomach that shows you how your food digests, and then we poop you out.
You just slide it. I have to actually go check that out. I haven't seen
It's really
it
awesome,
yet.
but it talks about, you know, what's good and what's bad. We have a great focus on the heart healthy, what foods are related to heart, having a healthy heart. It's amazing, and the kids are actually walking their parents through saying, we need to be eating this, not this. And so it's about choices. It's about that lifelong learning. It's about that critical thinking, problem solving. It's about making better decisions.
And really, I was thinking this morning as I was writing for the first two series of paintings I'm doing for WebPT about the idea of really the end user, the end customer for WebPT really is the patient. Mm-hmm. It really is a healthcare company that happens to be a software company. And so the idea of science, which means, hello, medicine, I mean, it's more than just science like sending someone to the moon. It's science like being a doctor.
Well, science is all around you. I mean, everything you do, choices that you make. And I just feel that providing the proper tools, providing the proper opportunities to see what's out there. Maybe you live in a community that eats a certain way or does things a certain way. We actually open up the possibilities of seeing, well, if you try this differently, maybe it would lead you to a road to achieve this. But you make those choices, and you have the ability to learn about what's best for you.
So what would you tell other charitable organizations like yourself about the benefits of partnering with a social responsible company like WebPT?
That's a no-brainer. Oh my gosh. It is so important to partner with companies like WebPT because they believe in the community. It's not about the organization. It's bigger than the organization. It's about making the community better and helping people to live healthy and happy lives.
I was thinking about this morning, that there's different ways to give back. So part of it's money, right? Mm-hmm. So, money's the most important thing, Zig Ziglar said, in the world, but it's right up there with oxygen, right? It's something necessary. And so you guys do need money to be able to provide the things that you do and do what you do in the organization. But you also need volunteers and mentors and people to get involved, which is another way of giving back, right?
That is a great way of giving back. At our Arizona Science Center, our employees actually have, we give back through donations at the end of the year. When we see programs that are in need, we have 100% participation from our employees to give to a particular program to support it. And so I think that's where our shared alignment with WebPT is that we have a culture of philanthropy and a culture of giving, because we want to make sure our community is better.
And it makes working better, doesn't it? Don't you think giving back, it makes you want to show up for work and get you more, loyal to your organization? 19 years, you have to be really in love with where you're working to stay for 19 years, right?
It's about paying it forward.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. So what can you tell us personally about what you've learned about being fearless?
6th grade.
Wow.
6th grade, I had a teacher who told me that I was lazy. And the curriculum that she was teaching was boring because I already knew it. Because when I went home, my mother made me read all this. She made me read a very, very rigorous reading schedule that my mother had. And so she told me I was lazy and I was never going to amount to anything.
Oh.
I could have taken that and said, maybe she has a point. But I'm like, that is so not me. And that actually motivated me to actually become fearless and to actually step out there and do things that my other friends didn't do. And so actually, let's speed that up about 25 years later, I actually went back to the school and I went to the teacher and I said to her, I'm CEO of Arizona Science Center. I guess I'm not lazy.
So you told her to her face that you actually are bound to, and then what did she say?
She smiled and she says, I'm glad you're not lazy.
I think it's funny sometimes what inspires us. I had somebody tell me, a guy that I dated actually told me that I would never sell my artwork and I would never show my artwork. And every time I have an opening, I sent him an invitation.
Well, I think the biggest thing is watch me.
Yeah, right. Let me show you how I'm not that person. So it's funny, right? The reverse motivation. That's awesome. That's awesome.
So it happened in 6th grade, and I think that's what set me on my path.
That's kind of an interesting thing to think about when there's so many people that have had that happen where somebody has said that you can't do something and the response is watch me, right? So that's really cool.
Only you can control your own destiny.
That's right. Well, Chevy, obviously not a lazy woman.
No,
not at all. And I really super appreciate your time. I am really excited about what I get to make here because there's just so many. I'm getting chills as I'm thinking about it. 'Cause I have no idea what's going to happen until I write the story, your story, and we'll make an appointment for me to come down here and play. Which is really what creating is playing, isn't it?
It is. We call it serious play.
Yeah.
And it's serious play. Scientists do it every day. And they come up with incredible innovations because they're seriously playing and learning. They're succeeding, they're failing, they're failing, they're failing, they're succeeding. And guess what? They're learning as they go.
That's part of it.
It's all a part of
I'm sure I'm going to learn all sorts of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time, Chevy. I really appreciate it. And thank you for your service to the community, to the state of Arizona, to children, to adults that are still learning, to Arizona Science Center, and to me personally. I really appreciate it.
Well, thank you. And we'd like to thank WebPT for being a great partner. And we're going to rock this community. So thank you.
Thanks.